Shout out to Cats Pod.
1 second. A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? Here we are after the game, finally recording a podcast once again on time. We are 2 for 2 this week. It is incredible how good we are getting at doing what we're supposed to be doing.
I know nobody can see me, but I'm pounding my chest because we're on time.
Yeah.
We're on time.
Once again, we're recording from remote locations, so it will be an audio-only episode, as you can probably already tell.
You guys are missing because Ben looks fly as hell right now.
Looking. I got the Cats Pod hoodie on. I got my reversible Montana State hat on. It's a good day to be alive, you know? It's a good day to be a Bobcat. Everything feels good right now. Let's start talking about this Northern Colorado game.
Okay, give me 2 seconds before we start.
Okay.
I have to let everybody know just how disappointed I am, how close we were to my trifecta.
We were so close. Oh, I looked at that too because I got back here to the hotel and I was like, did the trifecta hit?
It was so close, man. So close. I mean, you want to talk about a heartbreak? That Phillies game was brutal to live through. Brutal. I'm telling you, Zach Wheeler goes out and maybe pitches the best game I've ever seen him pitch. Comes out after 7 scoreless innings, and we somehow lose 6-2. Dude, I was so close to the trifecta. I mean, I love a Cats win, and I love a Grizzly loss. But that Philly loss it's a swift kick to the balls, right in the balls.
Yeah, I was really hoping for you. I mean, I didn't watch a single second of the Phillies game. I just saw the score afterwards. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, 66% once again.
Bummer.
The
second thing I have before we jump into the game is I do have video evidence of Ben's shotguns for the Bobcats.
Yep. And if you haven't already, make sure you go follow us on Instagram because the video is currently up on Instagram. So if you want to see me paying my dues, shotgunning those beers for the Bobcat turnovers. Well, I guess it's still called a turn. That's the confusing thing. It's called a turnover either way.
Yep.
You know, so we were the turnovers that Montana State earned. You know, not the ones they gave away.
You won for today, brother.
I did. For once, I didn't feel like a winner at the time. I'm feeling much better now, though. You know, at the time, I did not feel like a winner at all, and I think you can see that in the video. Once again, on Instagram at CatsPod. Go ahead and go check it out. The one thing that was not a disappointment in any way, shape, or form was this Northern Colorado game today.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to tell you what I thought was the best part, and honestly, the most glaring part of the team that I thought was absolutely beautiful. Taco Dowler was brilliant.
Oh, yeah. He had an amazing game.
Dude, from the very beginning of the game, I mean, this kid is out there fielding punts, catching passes, running balls. I mean, catching passes from wide receivers.
Shout out Ty McCullough, the dude.
I honestly, so he lost that fumble. I watched it on the TV. It was really hard to see. I still don't think he did it, but I will never.
It was
think
hard to tell
because I love him. So I will never think he actually fumbled that ball.
Yep.
But the best, I mean, this kid does it all. And honestly, his best play might have been fielding that punt at the 2.
Oh, yeah.
That was incredible. He was the only guy down there ready for that ball, downed it right at the 2-yard line. And that's on top of his stat line was, I'm not even looking at it right now. 2 for like 108 or something like that and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
That's Randy Moss style numbers, brother.
Yeah. And just how he makes an impact in different parts of the game. Like, he's a complete game changer when it comes to the special teams. And then it almost feels like every catch that he has is just icing on the cake for what he's already doing for the team.
Dude, Taco Dowler he's grabbing another gear. He looks better right now than Junior Bergen.
Yeah.
And Junior Bergen, in my opinion, was maybe the best FCS player all around last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he is so, I mean, anybody who listens to this podcast knows that I appreciated Junior Bergen for his balance.
Yeah.
Taco Dowler's balance is unbelievable.
And his vision, the way he sees the field and can find these gaps, and it seems like he always finds some seam that he can slip through for at least 14 or 15 yards.
I mean, I'm sitting here gushing over Taco Dowler for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And completely skipping over Ty McCullough, the leader of this team, who threw a touchdown pass to this guy.
A sick on-the-money touchdown pass. It was perfect.
Dude. I mean, anybody who's wondering about this Bobcat team that hasn't had their questions, they've toyed with Northern Colorado today.
Yep. I honestly didn't even know that Ty McCullough was a lefty.
No.
Yeah, he rolled out to that side, chucked that ball with his left hand, and I was like, damn. There we go. So one thing, I really want us to bring on Marcus soon because I want to talk to him about the blocking schemes that they have in the punt game, because I'm not trying to take anything away from Taco. Taco's doing amazing things, but I never see a lot of punt returners having that much of a gap to catch the ball and to do stuff with it. It always seems like the defense is so far away from him when he gets to start, so that but he also gets creative with receiving it when there is people in his space. But I want to talk to him about what all goes into those punt returns, because it seems like the Cats just do it different.
I mean, the team is functioning so highly right now. I honestly, I don't even know what to say about them. In all aspects of this football game, I mean, it kind of seemed like they were just existing in this game, and they scored 55 points.
Yeah. And they made it look super easy.
I mean, Northern Colorado was going as hard as they possibly could, and the Cats seemed like they were on kind of like half throttle.
Yeah. It definitely did feel like that at times. Defensively, it didn't seem like the throttle was gone. I didn't get to watch the second half super closely.
Oh, dude,
the first half.
The best play of the game, McCade O'Reilly.
Okay.
At the end of the game, absolutely smoked that quarterback.
That's awesome.
It's like, honest, when you were watching it, it was like he thought, he kind of laid up because he thought the quarterback was going to throw, but then he tucked it, and he just put his shoulder into him and absolutely ended that dude's life.
Okay.
He was toast.
Yep. And Ty Gregorak was doing plenty of the O'Reilly already in the game, so I'm sure he was going off at that point.
I didn't get to hear any of the broadcast because I was in a bar and I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, yeah.
Watched the whole game. But I was in a bar, so I couldn't hear anything.
Yep.
But, I mean, even the backups, man, they just owned Northern Colorado. It was never close.
Yeah.
Not even on the same level, not even remotely.
Yep. And that's what you kind of got to expect when a 5-0 team goes against an 0-5 team. But as we've said multiple times, like, Northern Colorado has played good teams close. And I mean, Abilene Christian just beat Central Arkansas today.
You're right.
They took down a top 10 team. So Abilene Christian is actually a solid squad. But the thing is like, the Cats, I don't want to overhype it, but they look like they're in a different class. And I think that's based on the competition we've seen for the last month, because there hasn't been a lot outside of the New Mexico game. but they just look different. Even when they're playing against bad schools, they're looking closer to teams like SDSU than I think they ever have.
So there is an argument to be made that they haven't played anybody outside of FBS New Mexico.
Yeah.
But they are beating these teams the way you would expect.
Oh, yeah.
This game was a half a point away from the spread today.
Yep.
The spread was correct.
Yep.
They won by 38 points.
Yep.
The spread was 38.5. I mean,
yep.
They're beating these teams exactly by what they're expected to be doing while still pulling the starters.
Yep.
Because they pulled those starters early yet again.
Yep.
I mean, we both talked about this the last episode. We figured fourth quarter. It was before the fourth quarter that they pulled the starters.
For sure.
The other thing I was insanely impressed with is what Brody Grebe is turning into right now. Dude, this guy is I want to cuss right now because that's what he deserves. I mean, he had one sack. He went right down the middle of that defense and destroyed that quarterback so bad. I mean, the guy never even had time to even say hello.
Yeah, he absolutely blew him up.
It was crazy how fast he was on him.
Yep.
The defense is functioning at such a high level. The offense can pick. It's not imminent what they're doing.
Yep.
If they have to punt, it's not a big deal.
Yep.
Because the defense is functioning so highly right now.
And also, when we punt, we completely flip the field and put you inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, not to mention we have an NFL punter on our team.
Yeah. Every level, it seems like there is so much talent on this roster, and we talked about it all offseason, but it is so gratifying just to see it come to fruition. Like, just to see that this team is what we were hyping it up to be.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Ben. My questions on this team are getting really small at this point.
Yeah.
We're still not totally healthy.
No.
And we're functioning at such an insanely high level.
Yeah.
I mean, like today, you watch the running attack. The running attack was somewhat stifled per player.
Yeah.
Not overall.
Yep.
But per player, they were starting to figure out Scottre Humphrey.
Yep.
So they bring in Adam Jones, and he starts ripping off 11, 12-yard gains at will. And then they start figuring out Adam Jones. So then Jared White comes in for a little spell, figures out his groove, and then here comes Scottre Humphrey back for another 12, 15-yard gain.
Yep.
I mean, I'm really enjoying this offense.
The versatility is crazy.
Even when they couldn't run the ball completely at will, you know, when they weren't putting up 350 yards of rushing, the team was still – Northern Colorado was so scared of it, they completely forget to guard a guy in the end zone, throw a wide-open pass right into the end zone, then Cats score.
Yep.
I mean, the rushing attack is so underrated right now with how many dudes they got in there.
Yeah. I don't know how they could be underrated, though, Eric. Like, I kind of get what you're saying, but if there's anybody who doesn't know that they're the best in the country right now, I want to talk to them.
All I'm saying, we just played in 2 division games in a row. It was never close in either one.
Yep.
And, I mean, this one was a 38-point win, which is what was expected to happen, and it did.
Yep.
All I'm saying is that there should be some consideration for the top 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep. It's going to be hard because, like we've talked about before, with the rankings, people really wait for the teams that are ahead to lose. You know, it's
Yeah.
really hard to build it unless if they pull off like if they have a huge win coming up, because next is Eastern Washington, if I'm
Yeah.
not incorrect, right?
No.
Okay.
Idaho.
Idaho is next.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay. If they have
Then
a convincing win
then
against
Washington.
Idaho, I think they definitely deserve that number 2 spot.
I'm trying not to be too much of a biased fan here,
Mm-hmm.
but the way they have won these games, if you beat Idaho, what more do you want from a team? This
Yeah.
team has shown you that it can perform in the passing game, in the running game. Defensively, they are an absolute juggernaut, led by some of the best players in the country.
Yep.
Brody Grebe, Rylan Ort
Yep.
is unbelievable. Danny Yu
was a man possessed today.
Yeah, and you owe him a shotgun.
I do? Oh, now I do. Okay, we're just keeping this rolling.
Yeah. He had an interception today.
Yeah.
You owe Danny Yu a shotgun.
I owe it. Yeah, sure. No.
Danny Yu, if you agree with that, just throw that out there.
Yeah, if Danny Yu contacts me personally, I will give him one.
That's not how this. I mean, you're doing one whether he contacts you personally or not.
I mean, me and Danny Yu have had one semi-drunken conversation in a bar together before, so we're pretty tight. But you know, but he was playing crazy good today.
Oh God,
he was playing crazy good, along with a lot of the guys on the defense that you mentioned, and it is looking so stifling on defense, and then it's looking so easy on offense. It's tough. It's tough to find. I mean, the only thing that we had go wrong today was the missed extra point at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, so I actually missed that.
Yeah, it was
Did
a doink.
not see what happened.
It was a doink that barely went out. At least from the camera angle, it looked like it could have gone doink in.
At least he, rallied himself out of that.
Oh yeah, he got plenty of practice today.
Yes,
He got plenty of practice on extra points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than kind of what we've talked about, I don't have a lot for the podcast today other than the team is functioning at such a high level right now. I would be majorly shocked if we lose within the Big Sky at this point compared to what has happened in the Big Sky today.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to get too in depth because we're going to have a pretty big episode on Wednesday.
Yep.
But UC Davis could barely beat Portland State, which is embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And Montana lost.
Yeah.
We are prime right now.
Yep. We are in a good spot.
This is our division.
Yep. The conference, like I was saying before, it's conference-wise, the Cats look like they are in a league of their own right now.
It's
in this
true.
moment right now, I know that I'll probably have to eat my words at some point, or like there will be a tight game where it could make things look a little iffy. But right now, it just looks like there's one tier. The top tier, the S tier, is the Cats alone. There might be some A's, there might be some B's, but the S tier is all Cats.
It is. And, I love to pile on the Grizzlies. I always do.
Yep.
But we're sitting at 3 weeks in a row of the Grizzlies giving up monumental points, man.
Yep.
I mean, points that we're talking about 50s,
Yep.
Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
That is not sustainable.
Yep.
We live through this, Ben.
Yep.
When the Cats would, score 60 points, but we were giving up 55 points a game.
Yep.
It was stressful.
This is the most complete team.
luckily we were winning some of those games, but you cannot guarantee that you're going to win. Meanwhile, the Bobcats are walking out there in conference play.
Yep.
Northern Colorado is what they are.
Yeah.
But we beat them by 38 points.
Yeah.
With our backups in for over a quarter of time.
Yeah. And a lot of these games where we would see like a huge score differential, like we could be seeing 60-0. It's just because those starters are getting pulled, and then the other team happens to get a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know, because we got to keep everybody healthy. Because we're not playing for the regular season at this point. I think at the beginning of the year we definitely weren't, but at this point it's looking more and more each week like we're playing for those playoffs.
I feel like as the season goes on, you just kind of realize positionally the Cats are on another level.
Yep.
The talent that they have at every position is just a little bit better than the rest of the conference.
It definitely is.
I mean, if you sit down and you look at the next best team in the conference,
yeah,
which you could pick any
There's
number
a lot of teams you could put there.
I don't know who the next best team is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be totally honest with you. I want Tommy Malott on my team.
Oh, yeah.
I want Scottre Humphrey on my team. I want Adam Jones. I want Ty McCullough.
Mm-hmm.
I want Laniata Alexander. I want Rohan Jones. I want Danny Yu. I want Rylan Nort. Everyone, Mikado. I mean, I can go down the list. Brody Greavy. I mean, it's crazy.
Yep.
I want everybody that's on our team over anyone else that's on their teams.
Yep.
I don't really care who you bring up from any other team. I'm probably going to pick a Cat player over them at this point.
Most definitely.
I mean, I feel like, and we talked about it all to death last year about Cat culture, and I feel like it's so real, dude.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are bought into something bigger right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they really care about anything other than going to Frisco.
Yeah. I don't see a lot of teams when you're this much better, winning can kind of become the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're winning every single game, and then you have people start looking at their stats, you know, and they wish they had like more catches or whatever, because we do spread the ball around so much.
Yeah.
We're not, at least body language wise, and we don't have a ton of inside connects or anything, but it seems like everybody's on the same page and doesn't care who gets the catches, doesn't care who gets the carries. They all know that they're studs. They're all confident in themselves enough, and them to get, and then collectively as a unit, they are confident enough not to worry about any of those outside distracting factors.
You know, and to take it a step further, the coaching staff has done such a beautiful job with this team.
Yeah.
With such a brand new staff.
Yeah.
You know, essentially, aside from the very tip top, brand new staff.
Yeah.
I feel like they have done such a beautiful job molding it exactly how it needed to be and finding where the flaws were last year and correcting them.
Yeah.
Does it sound like I'm brown nosing right now? I feel like I am.
A little bit, but like, what else can you say? You know, you're also just speaking the truth. I feel like I'm being a bit of a kiss ass. You know, maybe slightly. But I will say that the play calling this year has been spot on.
Ty McCullough threw a touchdown pass, bro.
Yep. It's creative, it's fun, it's versatile, and that's just because we have so many weapons, you know? It's like you were saying with switching out the running backs, but then you also have to think Tommy's turning into a very good opportunistic runner. Where he's not forcing it, but when he sees an opportunity, he gets 10 to 12 yards, gets down.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting very good at making those choices and knowing when he can go, knowing when he can't go, knowing how to find people. And the wide receivers on all those touchdowns were so wide open. They are running the plays that are being called to perfection.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. I mean, the play calling is, I mean, even if it was just up to, just normal, the players are perfecting what's called.
Yep.
To a point where it's just impossible to stop them. And we have a big test next week, and I can't wait to dive into that game with you on Wednesday. But after watching what I watched today, man, I feel so good about this team.
Yeah.
I mean, from the top to the bottom, we saw a lot of players today.
Yep.
And the backups were Chance Wilson looked great.
Yep.
I am very, very pleased with what I saw from Chance Wilson with backup offense against a starting defense.
Yep.
He was still scoring points, man. The dude is a baller.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly cannot come up with something for you to complain about.
No.
I wanted to say a different word there, but complain's what I'm going to go with.
That's good. That's good.
I got nothing. I got nothing to complain about today other than the Phillies. Thanks, Phillies. You ruined my day.
Had to ruin it, Yeah. Had to ruin it. Had to make sure the trifecta didn't happen.
Yeah. Although they did hit both my bets before they lost.
Yeah.
I bet a Kyle Schwarber leadoff home run and Zach Wheeler over 9 or more strikeouts, and he hit 9. So I won both of those.
You got to stack your wins on your losses.
Hopefully you didn't post my cat bets to Twitter.
Oh, I did. Oh, I don't know if it actually went through because I was in Deadwood at the time.
Okay,
and there was a lot of people there, and cell phones were not working.
Okay, so hopefully don't if you get it, don't post it.
Yeah.
They did not hit.
Okay. If in case anybody was wondering, because we're definitely just talking to each other right now and not to anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't already know for sure.
Yeah. No, I don't know what else you have to say about this one, but this was as stress-free as it gets. This was as easy of a game to be a fan of.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so proud of our players and our coaches. Man, it's a good time to be a Bobcat.
Yeah. It feels great. I think you've said it perfectly. I think every level, everybody's just looks better.
Well, speaking of looking better, Ben, I wish the listeners could see just how good you look right now.
There's good lighting in this hotel.
You are looking fine AF right now.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Thank you. You're looking pretty good, except you got that Phillies quarter zip on. So
hey, brother,
kind of ruins it a little bit, but
Hey, I got the Gold Rush shirt underneath. I got hot on top, and I gotta run the damn ball shirt in the house for next weekend.
Oh, I can't wait for my Juice Squad shirt to show up.
Well, that one's in the house too, but I'm wearing run the damn ball.
Perfect. Perfect. I think that's all we really have for tonight, at least.
I think we're gonna get in depth on everything else that happened on Wednesday.
Yep.
Talk about an epic Grizzly collapse.
Yep.
A barely proficient UC Davis, and what is to be the Bobcats' probably biggest test of the year on Wednesday. We got a pretty action-packed episode coming up.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a big one, so make sure everybody you tune in on Wednesday. We will be doing all of our normal coverage, but we will be diving deep into last week's games. We'll talk about the standings, how they shake up, because we know there's going to be some changes for sure. And then we'll also talk about the week to come. So it should be a big episode, and we hope everybody gets a chance to tune in on that one.
Yeah, I would definitely make sure you listen to the Wednesday episode because we got a lot to talk about.
Things are
it's
getting
pretty cool
exciting.
stuff.
Things are heating up. The
Yeah.
season is heating up. We're about to get into the part of the schedule where the Cats really prove themselves.
And if you want to hear a lot about how bad University of Montana is, this is your episode you want to tune into.
Yep. That's the great one, and they're already giving us plenty of stuff to work with online. Oh God, it's been fun. It has been a fun day for me. It's been a fun night, I should say, for me. Just scrolling, and watching. I'm not even saying anything. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. But just scrolling and watching as everything goes by.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Make sure that you rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at. Follow us on X and Instagram at CatsPod. And just make sure you guys stay as beautiful as the team is, you know? Stay as beautiful as this Bobcat team looks. Because then you're doing pretty good, my brother.
Oh, you couldn't have said it better. Any better, brother. You couldn't have said it any better. All right, guys. Adios.